Hello, dear friends, I'm with you. With this video, I'm opening a new category in which we will evaluate mods in Minecraft. In general, choose the most. It is not always possible to dial the exact number of mods on one topic, so the category is not called Top 5 or Top 10. The category is called Stomping. According to what signs I chose mods for the next top, I will always say at the very beginning, well, I am waiting for comments from you. Write whether you agree with my decision or not. And how would you determine the places in the rating, and which fashion would you give the first place, and why? And by the way, before you forget, just click on the subscribe button and click on the bell. And today, we have 10 mods dedicated to animals under consideration. So we will consider mods dedicated specifically to real, not mythical animals, compare the models and mechanics of mods, consider the pros and cons of each of them. So let's go. I put the Bara Animal Models mod in 10th place. This mod is designed for the version of the Lane 110.2 and 112.2, and in fact, all he does is change the models of animals. However, the models of this fashion are really worthy of praise. They are worked out to glory. Of the advantages, we can add that animal models interact with some other mods, such as Prime with Wool, Obby Sal Craft, Brown Mash, to Midnight, as well as Squark. Starting with version 15149, the mod is exclusively client-side, so it doesn't make much sense to put it on the server. Of the minuses, there is no original mechanics of any kind. The mod does not improve the behavior of animals in any way, and is not compatible with some mods that have original mechanics. For example, with the same mod for dog armor. However, we must admit that the mod is quite interesting, and it certainly deserves its place in the top. In the 9th place, I identified a mod called Animalium. It is intended for a number of versions of the main, starting with 110.2 and ending with 116.1. The mod adds for aggressive mobs a piranha, a brown bear, a rat, and a wild dog, as well as shooting them, and some such crafts. However, it seems to me that 4 mobs is somehow not enough. In addition, the models, although original, still leave much to be desired. It seems that the animals are standing on their paws tucked up, somehow in a crouch. In addition, the sample of mobs itself is by no means original. There are similar creatures in other mods. The background mod is a wonderful addition to the wonderful Zoo and Voles mod, which adds a number of very interesting wild animals with beautifully designed textures. And the house, like the mod, is suitable for the version of Lane 112.2. A serious drawback of Madonna is that it has stopped being updated and is only suitable for older versions of the main mod. Hang Animals is a good mod with a great idea. It is intended for the version of the Lane 112.2. By adding wild behavior to the animals, they become timid and voracious, hunting each other. They also get hungry, thirsty, sick. They defecate. Their breeding is a complex and fascinating process. In general, as in reality, that is, a mod in general, with a good swing for realism. Unfortunately, animal models do not change at all. All animals are vanilla same-sex, and the mod does not interact well with other animal mods. Generic Kenimals, designed for the 14th and 15th versions of the main. A mod with the ability to breed the largest number of different breeds of pets. Animals have different models and interesting textures. The animals are of different sexes. There are hunger mechanics in fashion, and quite realistic genetics, thanks to which players can breed not only beautiful-looking animals, but also achieve increased productivity of livestock. But this mod has just begun to develop, and does not affect all types of pets. However, he shows good hopes. So far I have put him in 6th place, but who knows, maybe someday he will be able to top this top. The Background and Ecology version of Lane 112.2 is intended, a good mod with an interesting idea and the beginnings of genetics. Wild animal species spawn in nature. After taming and changing several generations, they are domesticated and change their appearance. To reproduce, you need to get individuals of both sexes, and in the wild, they are able to reproduce themselves. The mechanics of hunger and happiness apply to animals. Unfortunately, the mod affects quite a few types of animals, but in fact, only those that are already in vanilla Minecraft. Don't add any new species at all, but quite beautiful animal models, many different colors, and they can be crossed. It even affects horses. Beta Animal Plast Mod is designed for versions of Mine 1.12.2, 1.14.4, and 1.15.2. It has a lot of wild animals that you won't find in other mods. Walruses, narwhals, squirrels, gris, badgers, and so on. The models of the creatures are worked out perfectly. There are several mythical creatures. Some can be tamed, but in general, there is a rather weak interaction with animals compared to other mods. The animation is intended for the 10th, 11th, and 12th versions of the main, excellent models, and a fairly large variety of animal breeds. And there are other species besides vanilla, the same hedgehogs, ferrets, and peacocks. A lot of interesting game mechanics. Pigs like to wallow in the mud. Hamsters run around in the wheel and can even generate energy. Horses can pull carts and so on. Animals have a gender. There is no genetics, and this, in my opinion, is a minus for a fashion aimed at pets. And all breeds exist initially in the wild, which seems strange to me personally. The mod has not been updated for a long time, and this is really sad. But he deserved his third place in my top. The second place in my top is taken by mod MoCreatures. It is designed for a huge number of versions of the main, starting with the prehistoric 1.5.2 and ending with 1.12.2. The animal models in it are perfectly worked out. A wide variety of wild and mythical animals, while almost all of them can be interacted with in one way or another. Lots of new items, original taming mechanics. All animals have their own characteristics. For example, elephants can be used as a bulldozer, cats can be played with, balls can be thrown to them, and they require care, including cat trays. Vierns can be flown. You can take eggs from snakes and hatch tamed snakes. The biggest disadvantage, I think, is that both real and mythical creatures are collected in one mod, and there is no way to separate them. In a good way, the mythical ones would have to be moved to a separate auction, which would allow players to better customize their builds. And now, ta-da-da-damn leader in my top, the best mod for realistic animals, becomes Zoo and Vials. The mod is designed for the 12th version of the main, and offers just a huge number of wild animals with well-designed models, interesting behavior, and animation of movements. In addition, it adds a lot of interesting blocks, plants, and objects that allow you to create your own zoos. There are mechanics of hunger and thirst, as well as capturing wild animals, taming and caring for them. Animals in fashion are of different sexes, which makes their breeding more interesting. This is how I got a rating of mods. And what do you think, dear friends? What animal mods do you personally like? Perhaps there are mods that should have been added to this top, and some, on the contrary, should have been excluded. Be sure to write your opinion in the comments under the video. You can also write the top of what mods you would like to see on my channel. By the way, you will find all the links to mods from my top in the description under the video as always. And that's it for today. See you soon. Bye bye.